Hello, everybody out there in a live world. Super excited to have you joining us for another episode of Networking at Noon. This week's episode of Networking at Noon is kind of on the bay. That would be Tampa Bay and just north of San Francisco Bay, as I'm joined here today by Dawn Lyons. Hi, Dawn.
Hey there.
Super excited to have you with us today. So I met Dawn, I think it was probably back in 2006 or 2007 for the very first time. I think it might have been in Arizona. May have been my very first Referral Institute back then, Asentiv conference, where I got to meet people from around the globe in a very small room, because it was a very small team at the time, helping others to grow their business by referral. So super excited. Welcome, Dawn. Glad to have you joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So Dawn actually, in addition to being one of the founders of Asentiv, she's got a lot of things going on in her world. She's very active in BNI. She is a coach. And so Dawn, I thought I might start off with, I know there's something that drives you, something that gets you going, and there's a lot of different ways you help people, but what really drives you? What are you all about?
For me, I'm all about everybody gaining more success, whatever that looks like for them. But I'm so tired of hearing people talk about, I just can't make it, or this isn't working, or I'm not good enough, things like that. And for me, it really is about, I believe that everyone deserves success. You deserve it. It's there. It's available to you. It is, though, whether or not you choose to do the work to get it. And so that's the tougher part of it.
It is going to take some work to create some success. I remember when The Secret came out, a lot of people were like, well, I'm putting into the universe that I want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
that just doing it's not enough.
Yeah. It's really funny. I had one person come to me at one time and she's like, I think I should have the same level of success that you do. I'm all, okay, I agree. And what have you done that I have done? I have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into personal and professional development. This is going back since I was like 18, 19, 20. Okay. So lots of years, but lots of money into that. I save money like crazy. I invest money. It's all these different things. At one point, I had 9 different businesses. I'm like, have you done all of that? Because if you've done all of that, yeah, you probably should be, as successful as we are. But it was just, the mindset was just really interesting. It was almost a entitlement mindset. I know. And those don't work very well for people, by the way.
Yeah, no. We've got to do some work if we want to get the results. So for those of you joining us, we're here Networking at Noon with Dawn Lyons. She is also the author of The Room Full of Referrals, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But for those of you watching us live, if you have questions, please do feel free to leave those in the comments, and I'll swing back around and make sure we get Dawn to answer those for us. So you mentioned once upon a time you had 9 businesses. I don't think it's that many anymore, is it?
Nope, not anymore. It dwindled it down to 3.
So so tell us a little bit about your 3 businesses.
So still the co-founder of Asentiv. And so our role there is to really mentor the CEOs, the folks that are really kind of working within the leadership of the organization. And then in BNI, my husband and I take care of 75 chapters of BNI. And we have a director consultant team of over 50 people. So that's pretty big. And then we both do business coaching. So coaching people actually from all across the world right now. And loving that. And again, that kind of goes to my heart of hearts, which is how can I be a part of getting somebody to a higher level of success, whatever that looks like for them. But like, that's where we want to be.
So kind of walk us through what would be some initial conversation or question you might ask, or what's kind of the beginning process if we're looking to take things to that higher level of success for those people watching?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things I love to do is I love to help people figure out what is annoying them in life, what is frustrating them in life. Because if I can get those out of their life as quickly as possible, it makes everything so much easier for them. And they're actually automatically having a better life. So a lot of times I'll ask them, what are your challenges? What are you most frustrated with? What annoys you the most? And it can't be about the spouse because I don't do that kind of training or that kind of consulting. But The thing is really just figuring out what do you need off of your plate so you can do all the things that you truly love to do. So it's a lot about that. And then it's all about vision, right? Vision. All right. So if we had all those things off your plate, where could you be in the next 3 to 5 years? What would life look like? And I always coach for business and life, right? You can have a great business, but if your personal life stinks, that's not success. Or if your personal life is great, but your business is hard and just you're struggling and it's too much work, that's not a good life either. So I'm really about both, which I think makes me a little unique. And of course, my dog is going to start barking at my cat that he's with every single day.
The pets are usually quiet until the Zoom is on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm lucky my dog doesn't bark. Like once a month she barks.
What?
Now it could be she's super old, so she's just like hanging out,
Oh.
she's sleeping.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
She's just like, yeah, yours probably my dog's probably smaller than your cat.
Yes, I would agree.
And the dogs are definitely bigger.
Yep.
Now I know that so it's interesting, like you mentioned the vision, the business and the personal being so important together. And then we had the animals. So I think the animals are saying it's time for you to talk about a little bit of fun. And I know you're a massive animal lover, and not just the cats and the dogs. Tell us about what you got going on there.
Yeah, actually, in just a couple of weeks, we'll be headed out to the Wisconsin Big Cat Rescue, which means lions, tigers, leopards, bobcats. And so we actually sponsor 3 Bengal tigers at the rescue. And basically, we're just helping to take care of them for the rest of their life. The last call that we received for our newest cat to the rescue literally was, hey, I've been keeping my tiger in my garage in a cage, and he's getting too big. Will you guys take him? What did you think a 6-month-old tiger was going to do? Get smaller? I'm not quite sure where people's mindset are on all of that. But, so we took him in for the rest of his life. We'll be caring for him. And so that's one of the things we do. But other than that, yes, I do love animals. That's one of my big things.
So I have to ask, because last year when we went into the pandemic, all the rage was the Tiger King. So did you watch that? Did you have thought? Because you're like, I'm into the rescue, but this is so not what I do.
Right. Yeah. So after so many people asked us about it, we had to. And I just sat down and I binge watched it one night, all the episodes, and just got through it because it was difficult. It was so hard to get through. I'm like, really? And that's not what we do. The Wisconsin Big Cat Rescue is way different. If you're in that part of the country, please, please, please go see them. They are open to the public. And they just have amazing animals. So yes, definitely different than the Tiger King.
I can only imagine. It's interesting because we were watching, and so the Big Cat Rescue that Carol Baskin runs is right around the corner from where I'm at. And yep. I when we were watching it, my husband's like, oh yeah, Carol used to go to the same networking events that he did. And he was like, she's interesting.
Yeah. Yes. And I've been there actually. I actually think you guys got me to go there when we were out that way. So yeah. All different. Every place is different. You just got to find the right one that does the right thing for your core values.
Yeah. So if people are interested, because, hey, we're spending some time talking about the big cats, how can people find out more about the Wisconsin Big Cat Rescue?
Yeah. WisconsinBigCatRescue.org.
That makes it super, super easy.
Yes.
Oh, so on from Facebook, it looks like, or I don't know. Nope. From YouTube. Cool. So Sharaj is there. He said, hey, this is awesome. 2 of my favorite promoters in one live stream. Excellent. Yeah. Love it. Yes. For those of you watching live, please do pop on questions, comments. We would love to hear from you as we're here with Dawn Lyons for our Networking at Noon interview. Now, I know that animals are big for you. What else do you like to do for fun? Because I know you are all about the fun.
I'm definitely about fun. We have that saying of we work hard, but we play hard, so we love to travel. We actually just booked a trip to Cabo for next year. If anybody wants to come to Cabo with us. So we're going to be doing that. It's one of our favorite places. It's easy to get to, but still just a lot to do while we're there. And then the other thing that we're really focused on right now is experiences. And so we actually have a whole list of like experiences that we want to put together for different groups of people in our lives, such as I love Asian food. So I want to bring in some kind of chef to teach a bunch of us how to create Asian food and just do it at a different level. I'm kind of okay, but I want to be a lot better. And so I want to do that. And then, why not do a cocktails class? Just saying, some fancy, cool cocktail kind of things. And then sauces, right? Like we can cook a lot of stuff, but we never put a lot of sauces onto them. And so I thought that would just be something completely different that we've never worked on before.
That sounds like a ton of fun.
I know. So
Speaking of fun, Dawn is all about the fun, but that's not just, work hard and play hard. It's also part of her behavioral style. And so I thought I might switch the conversation around and talk a little bit about this book, Room Full of Referrals, and what is it all about? So can you give us, the 30-second, 60-second spill? What is Room Full of Referrals, whether it's the book or the program, all about?
Yeah. So this is all about, there's 4 major behavioral styles, right? And if you know what style you are and you can see the styles of other people, you can adapt to them. And so it's teaching you how to notice a group of people and go, ooh, I think this person would like to be treated in this fashion, and really working with them in a way that they want to be treated. So the key is you got to know you first. Then you've got to learn the other styles and what to look for. And all of that is actually right in the book. And so there's tons of stories in there, but I find that sometimes people click with people or they clash with people, right? And that book will actually teach you how to click with them so that you know how to treat them. And then your relationships are so much better and so much easier, which is why you and I get along so well, Tiffanie, because we're so close.
We are very, very similar in styles. It's such an interesting concept. I remember the first time I did the Room Full of Referrals. Back then it was a room full of gems. And afterwards I had somebody come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, Tiffanie, now I know why I didn't like you when I first met you.
Yes. But that's the truth. And thank God they're saying the truth, right?
Yes. It's so important. But so many people don't realize that we're screwing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you tell us the difference between the golden rule and the platinum rule? Because I think that's a key to it. Though we do have, I love the story of Dawn and the neon board supplier in the book. Yes. The sandwich boards that they were doing. That's a great, so you'll have to check that one out. And I'm a promoter too. Yes, we love promoters.
Yeah.
All right. So talk to us about, see, I'm so promoterish right now with the
golden versus
golden rule versus platinum rule.
Okay, so let's say that I'm that type A kind of person, that driver, that go-getter is what we call it, right? If the golden rule is to treat other people the way that I want to be treated. If I treat everyone as that, hey, we gotta do this, we gotta make it happen now, like actually yesterday, we gotta go all the way to the top as fast as possible. If I treat everyone that way, I'm gonna lose a lot of people in my life, right? And so the key here is to do the platinum rule, which is to treat people the way that they want to be treated. Again, it's so important to know who you are first, so that then you can say, oh, I need to slow things down a little bit. I need to be a little bit more concerned with how they feel about moving ahead quickly. And what can I do to make them feel even more comfortable and confident? And I think that's the biggest difference, just treating the people the way that they want to be treated based on their style.
Yeah, I think about, how is it that when I'm communicating with different styles, what's the difference that it makes when I'm communicating with the different styles, the speed up, the slow down.
Yeah, so you and I are going like this, and some people might be on the call like, are they really like this? Yes, we really are.
I'm actually slowing it down a little bit, as much as when I can remember to. I'm like, okay, calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Dawn and I are kind of off the charts, fast pace.
Yep, just a little bit.
So what do you think way for people to really practice and work? Let's say they've read Room Full of Referrals or they've been to the program once. How do we keep that material alive? How do we stay immersed in it and apply it to real life?
Yeah, I love just taking a style a week. Take one style a week. And then as you're calling people, is that style someone that you're about to call? Or maybe you're out and about and you see someone that is that style. Well, can you engage with that person? Can you just kind of, I call it practicing, right? It's real life practicing. But how could you make that person feel good about your conversation with them, but as well as just making them feel good about who they are and their style and kind of honoring their style? So I call it, the once a week practice. So just get out there, take a look at who's there in your world, who could you work with that week that's in that style, and then just see how you do. Right. So some of these styles that are opposite, right, it really takes a little bit more or a lot more patience, right, to maybe slow down, or if you've got to speed up. And so those things all really matter, but the practice is what's key.
I remember when I first started behavioral styles, I was like, okay, because opposite for me are the examiners and the nurturers. So I was thinking, because I'm a nerd, I can't help it. I'm like, okay, if I was going to talk to Spock from, Star Trek, like how would I have that logical, no fluff, no frill, detail oriented conversation? And so I like to use those fictional characters to model, okay, how do I have these conversations?
Right. Absolutely. That's a great idea. I love it.
So we've talked a little bit about the room full of referrals. You've got Asentiv, you've got your role in BNI, you've got the coaching. If people are looking to get in touch with you, what's the best way for people to find you, whether that's online or, where should they go to reach out if they wanted to chat with you?
Yeah. It's either Dawn at asentiv.com or Dawn at BNI SF Bay for San Francisco, sfbay.com. Either one's great. And I'd love to get back in touch with everybody.
Cool. Now, I know we were talking before we went live, and you're not taking on a lot of new coaching clients, but you are looking for the right kind of clients for the right kind of work. So can you tell us about the ideal people that you're working with right now, and what you're working with them on, if the person that is watching might be a good fit for you?
Yeah. So some people might think this is a little corny, but this is how I describe my best kind of absolute coaching client. I'm looking for that fast-paced, fun, feisty female who is frustrated with either her finances, maybe she's not getting to the level of success she's looking for, or her freedom, meaning being able to have that fun in her life. So hopefully just from what we've talked about already here today, you can tell that I'm very much about growing your business, growing your finances, and ensuring that you have an amazing life as well. So that's what I would be looking for, that fun, feisty, fast-paced female who wants more in her business and more in her life. And typically, a lot of the folks that I work with have some mindset issues going on. And I have a whole thing around belief and believing in yourself that I feel I work with people super fast to help you overcome a lot of limiting beliefs. I think too many people take too long on that. And I feel like I can get through it really, really quickly with people. So that's my best thing that I love doing.
Awesome. Excellent. So as we begin to come to the close of this week's episode of Networking at Noon, I have two questions left for you. The first question is, okay, for the viewing audience out there, give us a tip, a recommendation, something that is lighting you up or just burning to get out that can help people create that amazing business and spectacular life that they're looking for.
So my biggest tip is master your calendar. Boy, I got to tell you, our life changed when we really got focused on mastering the calendar. So many times you just feel like you're in consistent chaos because things are just coming at you all day long. Well, guess what? When you master your calendar, you know what you have planned. You have the open time if you choose to put that into your calendar. So people would literally laugh at me. They would look at my calendar and say, you have your shower listed in your calendar. I'm like, well, yeah, I got to take one, don't you? It's in there. If I need to do it, it's in there. And so but I also put in there open time. I also put margins in there, 15, 30-minute margins if things are just back to back. It's like, no, that's not how I want to live my life. And so I do believe that getting to the success that you want is all about creating the time in your life that you need. And when it's in the calendar, it gets done, right? We've all heard that phrase, but how many of us are actually doing it, right? So master your calendar, get all your personal stuff in there first, then go for your most important business meetings, right? Clients, things of that nature, but get the personal stuff in there first. Otherwise, you're never going to have both.
And it's so interesting. I know when Zoom and us started in March of 2020, so many people, it's like back to back to back to back. And I probably did those back to back for like a month. And I'm like, I'm going to go crazy and kill somebody. This is just driving me insane. And so I changed the settings on my calendar. And so now I can't have back-to-back Zoom meetings. You know, there's always, in my scheduling calendar at least, there's always 15 minutes in between. And what typically happens is, let's say the meeting's till 10 and it runs to 10:02 or 10:03. And then I need some more water. And because I'm drinking water all day, I need to go to the bathroom. Or Kelly is like, I would like to go outside and go to the bathroom too.
Right.
And then, you know, you're not trying to do all of these things and get off the calls early. And it's just like, oh.
Yeah. But do you see that heavy sigh? I hear that from people all the time, right? And they're just like, oh, it's like, okay, you're not giving yourself enough margin, right? Give yourself that time to just regroup, get reset. Okay, who am I talking to next? All right, let me be prepared. Don't walk into another meeting like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like, no, hey, I'm here, I'm ready for you, and I am in the right mindset to be able to work with you right now. But
I think people have discounted, you know, when we would drive from one appointment to the next, even if you were on the phone or listening to something or whatever we were doing while we were driving, we still had that in between.
Yes, that lull time where you could just listen to music or just, you know, kind of space out for a little bit. We need that time. It's necessary. So get it into your calendar.
Awesome. So my last question that I have for you today, Dawn Lyons, is what is your favorite brew? Which I know is not the question that you would, you know, your answer, I'll come back to what's your favorite beverage. But what's your favorite brew to start with?
All right. Well, you didn't let me pick wine. So I'm going to go with a Lagunitas IPA. Lagunitas or Russian River. Those would probably be, they're two locals, right? Very, very well known. Even Lagunitas has got themselves on TV movies and stuff like that and all of that.
We get Lagunitas and Bear Republic. I'm a really big fan of Bear Republic. They have a really great, their IPA is actually my favorite. The Racer 15. Seasonal is my favorite IPA.
Nice. And I think Bear Republic has a hazy that I like. I'm really into the hazies right now.
Interesting. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. The Russian River is the only one of the Lagunitas and Russian River that we don't get here in Florida. And so every time we head out that way, we're like, okay, Russian River.
Yeah.
And the food's good there too. So.
Oh, it's fantastic. And we haven't been there since, you know, Sunday.
I could see going there all the time if I lived in the area.
Yeah,
so I don't think that's good or bad. All right, so tell me. So when it comes to your favorite beverage, because I know beer is not your thing.
So wine is definitely more of what we do. My favorite wine is a Viognier. So when Chardonnays kind of got too oaky and too whatever, there's a place for them. But I started to taste some Viogniers and I really love those. They still have a lot of complexity to them. So they go with a lot of different types of foods, but they're also kind of hard to find. So it was just, it was August. We actually did a Viognier battle here at the house. So these are the kind of experiences that I want to put on for people, right? So we had close to 30 people here. It was all outdoors. It was all very safe. But I had the tasting notes all done, but we had 6 Viogniers. And people had to see if they could put the tasting notes in the right order of the blind tasting, and then just which Viognier won. We had Viogniers from $5.99 up to $48. Guess which one won?
The $5.98 one.
You got it. It always happens. It's from Trader Joe's. It was awesome. But I just think it was like that perfect time of the day and all of that. So it was really interesting, really interesting.
That is awesome. Well, Dawn Lyons, thank you so very much for being here for this week's Networking at Noon. And it has been a pleasure to have you. I look forward to seeing the rest of you back here live every Thursday at noon Eastern, or you can always check out the replay on our YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy networking, y'all.